then, I tell you, they were good days. Then these people, they, like they used, like missionaries, we'll say. And they had they lived 123rd. They had like a place where they used to give bread, like American bread. And like us, we always had Italian bread, real good Italian bread. And those kids, like they used to go and get that bread, and they got it for nothing.
Right.
But they used to love that Italian bread. So that we used to exchange. You said, you give me 3 slices of yours, and I'll give you 3 slices of Italian bread. Because we loved that bread,
Really?
American bread.
Oh, that's funny.
And another thing, a lot of people used to make homemade bread, Italian homemade, but they had no money. And yet, the bread that Grandpa sold, like you get maybe 2 pounds for 5 cents. You could feed a family. And then they didn't even have that nickel. Things were very bad. They didn't have that nickel. And like at the end of it, because the men used to make $6 a week, and they had large families, and there was no home relief or things like that. And they used to charge it. Now one day, and I was growing up, and Grandma had the store, and we had the book that you came, took 2 loaves of bread, 10 cents, and they used to pay you, or they didn't pay you. They didn't pay you, we used to put it in the book. Now one day, this fellow by the name of Marco, he used to live on this top floor in our apartment house, a tenement house, and Grandpa had the store there. So you could get rich there because, as I said, the people were poor. And then you sold the bread cheap because the cost of living wasn't high, but the salaries were very low.
Right.
So now this kid came and buy a loaf of bread, 5 cents, Marco. I always tell your mother these stories, and those were all true stories.
Cool.
So I happened to be there, so I gave him the bread, and he gave me the nickel. So I said, I'm not going to put this nickel on the tab I'm going to spend it myself. So what happened at the end of the week, when I think of those days, at the end of the week, when the mother came and said, got an egg, what do I owe you? I want to pay you. Let's say it was for 2 weeks maybe. Well, let's say it was 5 cents. We'll say it was 75 cents. And and she said she had her little paper, and it was 70 cents because I had taken that nickel. So Grandma said, no, but Internet, this is 75. No, I gave Marco, I paid that day. See, I had to remember those days. I gave him the nickel. I was a kid, so I didn't know if they were going to. But anyway, I wanted that nickel. So she said, Marco, she called up, Marco, the poor kid was a nice little fat boy. He came down and said, didn't you pay Camilla when you came and buy the bread, we'll say Friday? He said, yeah, Jenny was there. I gave it to Jenny.
He got you.
So Grandma came and looked for me. Imagine for a nickel it had to be. So Grandma said, Jenny, did Marco pay you for the bread that day? I said, yeah. So she said, well, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you mark it? See, I marked it on there. Because I figured Grandma. So anyway, Grandma didn't hit me, but she scolded me. And that poor kid, he got a couple of slaps from his mother. Then when we got older and we used to talk about those things, well, we were really young, Oh, I tell you, really, those were the days. Oh, they were beautiful days.